Okay, we're here with manager Nikki Bull. First off, we've not caught up in a while. Can you give the fans your thoughts on the season so far, including the FA Cup and the FA Trophy game on Saturday?
It's definitely been a mixed bag, that's for sure. It's strange coming into the end of October that we've only played 9 league games. We've played 6 FA Cup games, a League Cup game, and an FA Trophy game. So obviously we're a bit behind in the league. We can focus on the league now, but obviously we didn't want to be out of the FA Cup. We've only got ourselves to blame. In both games against Hitchin, we've taken the lead and had opportunities to kill the game off, and we wasn't good enough to do that. As manager, that's my responsibility. I put the team out there, and falls on my shoulders. Like I say, I felt in both games we should have put the tie to bed, and we didn't, and we're out the cup.
Okay. Many thanks to all the fans that posted questions across social media for the interview. As I'm sure you can appreciate, we couldn't ask them all, so we boiled them down, and I hope they cover any questions you did have. So first off, one of the big talking points around the stands at the moment is a perceived lack of finishing up front, with an average of just 1 goal per game, and then not having scored more than 1 goal against any team at the same level as us. With an important run of league fixtures approaching, do you have any plans to strengthen the squad, in particular in the forwards and midfield, to ensure the chances we get in front of goal are capitalised on?
Yeah, it's something we're obviously looking at. Obviously we need to find the right personnel. In 3 of our last 4 games, the opposing goalkeeper's been man of the match. In a lot of games it's not that we're not creating the chances, we're just not finishing them. So obviously that's a concern and a disappointment. In games when we're on top, we're not being clinical, we're not putting teams to the sword, and then obviously it adds pressure onto the back 4 and Zaki when we're only ever scoring 1 goal when we're on top. So in the 16 games that we've played, we've taken the lead in 9 of them, and we've not converted enough of those into wins, and that's the truth of the matter. So we need to be more clinical for sure.
Okay. We've missed 2 crucial penalties this season, one of which might have resulted in reaching the next round of the FA Cup. One of the questions I got asked was, does penalty taking feature in training sessions, and are the penalty takers something you've discussed with the squad beforehand?
Yeah, well, at the start of the season, Elliot Benyon was our designated penalty taker. Against Harlow Town, Matt Dradge took the penalty, Elliot wasn't on the pitch. Then Elliot obviously missed one at Worthing, and Travis missed the penalty in the cup. So it is something that we discuss. Obviously Travis scored at Haverhill from the spot in the cup, and he scored in the penalty shootout, so he was 2 from 2 before he took it, so I had no reason to question him taking it. But unfortunately he's missed it, and we're out the cup. Huge turning point. If we go 2-0 up with the last kick, I think it's a different game, but it's not. And like I say, it's just another example of not putting teams to bed when we have an opportunity. Obviously this week we signed the Hanwell Town striker, Ibrahim Oulatard, so he'll be available Saturday. Very impressed in the 2 games that he played against us. He's raw, he's quick, powerful, and hopefully he can find the back of the net for us.
Brilliant. Again, a lot of the questions received focused around not making any changes in the second half at Hitchin, especially when we were a goal up against 10 men. Are you able to give any thoughts on that?
I'm not scared to make changes, but I can't make changes just for change's sake. We do have a small squad, and like I say, I'm not going to make a change for change's sake. I didn't feel with the options we had on the bench, obviously I would have liked to have made a change if I could, but it was important to get fresh legs on. But like I say, you can't just put square pegs into round holes. We have the squad that we have. Obviously we're looking to improve it and strengthen it, but like I keep repeating, we can only bring in players that fit into our budget and what we can do. So we talk to players on a daily, on a weekly basis, and like I say, you can't always get everyone that you want. That's just football.
Yeah. A number of fans have suggested we seem to do better in the first half than the second. Again, do you have any plans to generally strengthen the squad to give you more options when it comes to making changes, and give an impact in the second half, as well as any injuries we might pick up throughout the season? Yeah,
definitely. Again, it's basically the same answer, isn't it? We'd all love to have 18 or 20 players that are first team players that you can rotate, but we have so far this season been fortunate with the injuries situation. We've not had too many. I have to give a lot of credit to Mick Quinn for that. Our physio has done a fantastic job, him and Braveheart, in keeping the bodies out there. But I think you could definitely see on Saturday at Folkestone and towards the end against Hitchin, there were some tired legs out there, and we do need to freshen the squad up, but again, it has to fit in with what we can pay and maximise that to the best of our abilities.
Brilliant. And then this Saturday we host Bognor Regis Town with a 3 PM kick-off. You got any thoughts ahead of that game?
It's nice to have a home league game. Again, crazy that we're in October and we've only had 3 home league games, so a good test against a very good side. We've got a difficult run of fixtures coming up now. We need to be on our game and you know, look to get some positive results. Obviously we've got games in hand in the league, but I'm not sitting here worried, that's for sure. You know, if I look back over the 9 league games so far, we should have more points on the board than what we have. You know, that's not me looking with rose-tinted glasses. You know, you could go through the fixtures. You know, White Hawk at home. How many chances did we miss, particularly in the second half, hitting the woodwork from 1 yard on a couple of occasions? There's 2 points there. Obviously, you concede injury time minute goal against Bishop Stortford. Same at Worthing. Cole Shorten away, we missed basically an open goal at 0-0. So you know, that's the story. It's not hard luck. It's not blaming luck. It's basically a realisation that we're not capitalising and taking our chances when they're presented to us, and it's something we need to be better at. The goals return is poor, but like I say, it's not like we're not creating chances. Even at Folkestone Saturday, for as poor as we were, and we were very, very bad at Folkestone for the first 65 minutes. In a 15-minute spell at Folkestone, we create 4 or 5 chances. We need to be better all around the pitch. I'm aware of that. I know that. I signed the players, so I take full responsibility for it. It's a tough world out there trying to recruit players with the resources we have. That's not an excuse. That's fact. You know, I don't respond to questions or stuff like that emotionally. I'm trying to deal in facts, and the facts is we've not been ruthless enough in front of goal. We have created chances. We just haven't taken them. And like I say, that puts huge pressure on the back four and the goalkeeper. I think over the last 6 to 8 weeks, Jerry, Will Salmon and Zaki have been very good for us when we've needed them. But going forward, we do lack a bit of creativity from midfield. We do lack a bit of steel in midfield. And obviously we have lacked converting chances. So that's something I have to address, and that's something that I'm trying to do.
Okay, and then on Monday the 5th of November, away at Carshalton Athletic and the Surrey Senior Cup. Are you going to try and get us to the semi-final this year again? Sorry, final this year again?
Well, we try our best. We never go into a game wanting to lose, that's for sure. We want to win, but again, with a small squad, depending on how injuries go over the weekend, we might have to freshen it up and give 1 or 2 a game. There comes a point where we're going to have to trust more and more in the youth as the winter sets in and we pick up injuries. So, you know, it's a game we want to win. Yeah, we want to progress in the local county cup, bit of pride at stake, and we'll be doing our best to get the win.
Brilliant, and we will see you on Saturday, home against Bognor Regis for a 3 PM kickoff. Thanks, Nikki.